Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic.com, joined by Tom Campbell with his weird little hands. What are you doing, Tom?
Tiny freakish hands.
They smell nice. They're all soapy. He washes his hands after he has a you-know-what.
I had a bath before I came here. I'd like to put my very small hands together to you, Adam Pacitti, for doing an entire watch-along stream on your own.
Thank you very much, including the pre-show. 5 hours, I swore within the first 30 seconds, bollocksed up, the whole thing. But thank you very much to all 3,000 or so people who joined me for that, because I actually had a lot of fun. And what an event it was. We're going to talk about some of that in a moment. Tom, did you see it first?
I did. I've caught up with it on the train on the way here today. Oh my days. What a thing!
It was very good, wasn't it?
Amazing show!
It's no crown jewel, but, you know.
Well, nothing is.
Let's take a look at the headlines. First off, huge news. Jon Moxley is heading to New Japan Pro Wrestling. 2 AEW stars were injured at Double or Nothing. And we have an update on Road Dogg Jesse James after his departure from the SmackDown writing team. So, Tom, Jon Moxley has broken the internet again.
Absolutely incredible. What I love is when you watch Double or Nothing, you just see more heads slightly turned to the side, and then more, and the crowd gets louder and louder and louder. It was just an ace moment.
It was fantastic. This morning, he has released another of his cryptic. It's not that cryptic, is it? It's not that cryptic. He's going to New Japan. He is the man who has been targeting Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson is, of course, the IWGP heavyweight champion, and it looks like his first rivalry in New Japan. Jon Moxley.
This is an excellent pickup for New Japan because it has been a bit of a tumultuous time for them because they've lost a lot of people through AEW lately. So they're looking for some more, some new international flavour to add to their already incredible roster. Jon Moxley, who is the hottest wrestler in the world in less than 36 hours. No doubt an amazing pickup for New Japan. I mean, Juice and Mox. A match I didn't know I wanted.
No, I'm very much all for it. Did you see Moxley's post Double or Nothing promo?
Yes, where he discussed about the changing of a paradigm and this is a war now. Do you know what's amazing? It's not what he said. It was the look in his eyes. This is the most ramped up Moxley / Ambrose has been in about 5 years. Yeah. It's so exciting to see somebody who genuinely loves their craft again.
Exactly, you believe every word he says.
Yeah.
In that. It's so good. It's on the AEW YouTube channel. You should definitely go and watch it. Impassioned. Speaking of AEW and Moxley, we have news on his first in-ring match. Ooh. He obviously debuted at Double or Nothing, but we have his first. We don't know who it is. Who it's against, sorry. But he will be there in Daytona Beach, Florida on June 29th for Fighter Fest as part of the community effort Orlando Fighting Game event. Now,
who's it going to be?
That doesn't mean it's going to be Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's in a match already. Kenny Omega is the 6-man tag match. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Pac and the Lucha Bros. But
Jericho doing? Is that the night
that
Jericho?
Is an interesting name there, isn't it?
Pac's been thrown out there once again.
Who knows if Pac... It hasn't been confirmed either yes or no if Pac's going to be there. I mean, it sort of makes sense for Moxley to take his place, but do you want to see them square off in a 6-man tag?
Well, I would prefer a solo debut for Moxley, but do you know what? We as wrestling fans, we are at a point now where we say we would like everything now, thank you, please. I'm fine with being told to wait for Omega and Pac for a little bit. No, not Omega and
Moxley. Yes.
Omega and Moxley. I'm happy.
There's another match I'd go.
Whoa! There's another match that'll get cancelled in a minute.
It's really easy to just say that because they're all really good wrestlers. You could just any two of them. Yeah, that sounds pretty damn good. Yeah.
I'm excited. I think Moxley could potentially replace Pac in that match. I'd be fine with that. It'd be a nice little gathering of people. 6-man shenanigans. Be all right with that.
There are only 2 other matches announced for this so far: Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin, and a hardcore match pitting Michael Nakazawa against CEO Gaming's Jebailey, who I'm not familiar with.
I am not familiar with them. I saw Jebailey. I thought, what, from WWE? No, not that one.
Jebailey, Bailey. He's gold this morning. Broccoli Lesnar. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. One further note on Jon Moxley. He has also been announced for an NEW show, that's Northeastern Wrestling. It's called Prison Break, where he will be taking on Pentagon Jr.
I got so excited when you said, "Oh, Moxley and Pentagon Northeast Wrestling." I was like, "What? Like the Industry Social Club in Long Benton? Get in!" No, it's not. It's the American Northeast Wrestling.
Unfortunately not. A few other names there that are interesting, I think. Ray Phoenix, Dustin Rhodes, Jerry Lawler, Teddy Long, and there's an especially interesting one, and her name is Renee Young, is also there.
Renee Young. Well, obviously
Renee and Moxley on the same card.
It's good, isn't it? It's working date night, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go.
Paid date night. It's all right for them. But Jerry Lawler being there and many other AEW contingents being there. Because there's a lot of rumour and innuendo about Jerry Lawler potentially going.
What, to reunite JR
that way.
And King? I don't want to see that personally.
I mean, what did you make of the commentary for Double or Nothing?
I thought it was brilliant. I really, really enjoyed it, and I thought JR really came into his own in the main event. When Moxley debuted, it was classic JR again, because he's been hit or miss.
Yeah, you got the impression, and I think the big thing with Double or Nothing with AEW is this passion that's come through it, and you do get the vibe that once JR got going, like the old JR was still there. And
ring rust, right?
Whether or not him and Lawler would complement each other still, I don't know. Might be from another time, but
yeah, I don't want to lose Excalibur. Excalibur was the absolute man on Saturday night. I thought he was brilliant. He made a couple of errors, but apart from that, he was really, really good. No, I don't want to see it. We'll see. I hope they don't pull Renee from this. That's Friday, August the 16th, if you are in the area. So I say we'll see Jon Moxley versus Pentagon Jr. Unfortunately, we do have some sad news coming out of Double or Nothing, and that is the team of the Lucha Brothers are injured.
Both injured?
Both of them injured. So Lucha Empire Texas cancelled their event, War in Texas, saying on Twitter here, last night during an AEW show Double or Nothing, the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix got injured and were not able to travel today. And that's all they've said. They just a big cancelled banner over... Cancelado. which I think is Spanish for cancelled. You heard it here first. It's a big exclusive for Cultaholic, this one. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I'm not surprised. It was certainly the most intense match from a work rate perspective.
Oh my days, they absolutely battered each other. I'm surprised only two of them are injured. It was one of the best matches of the night. The Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks. So I'm hoping the injuries aren't too bad, because phenomenal tag team, and it'd be a loss to tag team wrestling across the planet.
They're booked everywhere. They're working all the time. They may have to pull out of a lot of shows.
This is what happens when this is indicative of wrestling in 2019. Like, to be so good that you're wrestling everywhere. Mm-hmm. Your likeliness to get injured is heightened because you're so good.
Especially doing what these guys are doing.
Oh my goodness me!
I've never seen a bad match featuring them. They're one of the best tag teams in the world already. Yeah, it's very sad. We don't have any further details on what those injuries may be or how they were sustained, but, you know, I mean, I would say Jon Moxley versus Pentagon Jr. will be fine. It's August the 16th.
They've got ages, Just put some ice on it, you'll be fine.
There you go. Well, we send our best to Pentagon and Phoenix. Next up, we have an update on the Road Dogg, Jesse James, the roadie, who was he was the head of the SmackDown writing team, and then he left citing creative frustrations. He was not happy, and apparently that was a great deal to do with Vince McMahon and his input on the show. He left that job, and now he's working down in NXT. His role hasn't fully been confirmed yet, although Pro Wrestling Sheet are reporting that he would remain with the company as a utility player. What does that mean, Tom?
Dog's body.
Yeah.
With double G. I think this is, underneath this is a bit of a power play from Triple H, I'm going to say.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of speculation about the strained relationship between Triple H and Vince McMahon based on the sheer amount of NXT call-ups and how it's thrown NXT into disarray on many occasions, and the general treatment of NXT guys. I think for Triple H to have somebody very much a very close friend, sort of part of the clique, in NXT, in that base camp, along with, because Shawn Michaels is there as well, isn't he?
Yes,
Shawn Michaels
he's a part-time trainer down at the Performance
Center.
Center.
So Triple H is really building up like an army of people he can politically fight with in NXT, and I think Road Dogg's probably part of that.
I think you're probably right. It's a weird time, isn't it? It's a very, very weird time that that has to happen within the WWE. It does feel like a bit of an FU to Vince. Like, you can't use him properly there. I'll come and do something with him here as the number one utility player on NXT.
Everyone's talking about the fact that WWE and AEW are going to war. I think the best war to watch at the moment is the war inside WWE, because there is clearly something going on.
It feels like it.
It
Who
really
knows?
does.
Well, I'm glad that he's still with the company. You know what?
Yeah.
It would be more damaging to lose him to AEW, I would argue. So
Keep him on the books.
yeah, there you go. And finally, an interesting note following Starcast from Bret Hart. Bret Hart was part of a Bret Hart Tom McGee show where they watched the old match. They talked about their thoughts following the documentary, which was very conveniently timed. And he buried everyone. he was just Bret Hart during it. I genuinely recommend watching it. It's peak bitter Bret. It's the best. It's so good. Anyway, he says that Mary Kate Anthony, who is the woman who appeared in the documentary, who teased the release of the Tom McGee Bret Hart match for a while on Twitter, and then I guess gave it back to WWE. You can watch it on the network. Bret Hart says that Mary Kate Anthony stole the Tom McGee tape from his house. He hasn't seen the match since it was stolen by the girl in the documentary, is the quote.
Wow. Now, I've watched the documentary back, and Mary Kate Anthony says that she received the tapes from Bret Hart's secretary to turn them into DVDs. And according to Mary Kate Anthony, they said, we don't need tapes anymore, they're old hat, you just keep them. So it seems interesting that Bret Hart has said, no, that's not what happened at all. That's quite...
I remember watching
bizarre.
that part of the documentary and thinking, that's weird, because everyone's learned their lesson about preserving original media. Like, you look back at the BBC, they used to tape over episodes of Doctor Who because tapes were so expensive. Tapes aren't expensive anymore. I'm sure that they would want the original.
You would have thought so, wouldn't you?
Because DVDs aren't going to be around forever either. Surely you want to keep the original thing. I thought that was curious when it popped up on the documentary. And now Bret Hart has said, well, she's a thief.
She's a naughty, naughty thief, apparently.
Who knows?
That was probably the nicest thing he said about anybody at Starcast.
People he was calling drunk. Go and watch it. It's a really interesting one. Anyway, thank you very much. We will be back later on with some more news for you. Take care. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Cultaholic. And most importantly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.